So I thought I would just take it outside today because it's such a beautiful day, and it was just seemed easier than trying to get all the lighting correct up in my office area. So here I am. So in a kind of a roundabout way, I'm going to describe a bit for you what I would be doing in a session. But when I sort of leaned into my apprehension about just going full on right from the get-go, starting off with recording me doing a session, it seemed like what I was being guided to do was just to put a little bit more framework in place to help share my perspective with you a bit more. And so today's talk is really about perspective and perception. And your perspective really is your attitude towards something or your point of view. And it's influenced primarily by the thoughts, beliefs, and patterning within the subconscious. And this is unique to each and every individual. It's unique because the content of each person's subconscious is based on genealogical expressions as well as current and past life experiences. But it's in sharing our perspectives that we're able to grow in our relationship with one another. And really, it's how we grow as a divine human, how I guess, expand my awareness about myself. It is in relation with others and interaction, really, with others. Now, perception is the way that you notice things, especially with your senses. So it's more emotion-based, whereas perspective is more like thought and mental. Although emotions do play an important role in the subconscious as well. So it's like you send out feelers to perceive whether or not you're safe, protected, or in control. And with that, then there's a thought, a belief, a story about yourself that you either interpret or a story that you make up about yourself based on those answers. Now, along with that thought, belief, or story about yourself is an emotion. And emotions are like the glue that keep the thoughts held within the subconscious. The same thoughts, beliefs, and patterns that shape our perspective. So although the words sound similar and may often be interchanged, I've been guilty of that, there is an important distinction to be made in order to provide a bit of the framework for what I'm talking about. And what I'm talking about is rewriting the thought, belief, or story that I made up about myself in relation to others, so that my perspective or attitude about a perceived situation will then shift. So here's an example that of the process I went through, to get to this point. So the thought, belief, or story I made up about myself and creating a YouTube channel for sharing with the world was, I'm unable to do this. I have nothing to share that's worthwhile. And if you really want to get down to the primal level, which is really where you'll find the glue, what was waiting there for me was, I'll be rejected. And if I'm rejected, I'll be kicked out of the pack or out of society. I'll be left behind and abandoned. Now, is any of that true on a conscious level? We know it's not. Because look, here I am doing this. Now, as to the worth or value in what I have to share, well, I could look externally to that. I have 2 YouTube subscribers, and they're not individual or other email addresses of my own. And often, of course, looking externally to ourselves is way more comfortable emotionally than looking within. But I'm about shifting my perspective and my perception for growth in my awareness. So it's a lot less about what others think and really more about the belief I want to create for myself. And the creation of that belief is based on divine truth, not my perception of the truth. Now, that last bit, the primal part about being abandoned, that's where the emotion or the glue is. And I'm sure you did not have to guess or use your intuition to know that the emotion there was fear. So what now? How do I shift my perspective? My attitude about doing this? How do I replace those thoughts, beliefs, stories within my own subconscious? And what happens to the fear? Well, I start with the fear of abandonment, and I acknowledge that concern, and I have compassion for myself. So the fear begins to soften, and then I become aware of the truth. And the truth is that whatever other people think, say, or do isn't about me and who I am. It is 100% entirely about the perspectives that they have about themselves within their subconscious programming that governs what they think, say, or do. So if I am looking at shifting the thoughts, beliefs, stories about myself, the they in this have no role other than to mirror back to me the thoughts, beliefs, and stories I have about myself as I grow or expand my awareness by being in relationship with the they, them in this all. So that fear then shifts, and I perceive joy. Joy for the shift in perspective, the recognition or realization of the truth that I can do this. I am worthy of sharing. I perceive gratitude. Gratitude for being in relation with others. I perceive grace for myself while navigating all of this. I perceive compassion for myself and others. Compassion really for all of us who are on this journey called life as a divine human. Now, that's just a condensed version, but hopefully with that example, you get a better idea about how all of us really, can shift our perspectives and really rewrite the thoughts, stories, and beliefs, the programming within our respective subconsciouses. So, so thanks for listening or watching, and thanks for being you.